I'm Caketinz and welcome back to my coffee table. It is time for a manga haul. It has actually been a good month or so since I last recorded a haul video, just because I've been busy, work, everything, and I filmed so much I'm still able to post a video a week. I have 2 more videos I need to film before the end of the weekend, so I'm trying to get back on it, build up loads of fun content for you. I'm on the approach to filming my collection tours for the end of the year, as I tend to do to celebrate my YouTube anniversary at the end of December or mid-December. So today's haul video was not entirely planned, but I had very sillily not actually thought out any haul videos between August and December. I'd planned other videos, not realizing that I absolutely would 100% still buy manga. As for where today's manga haul is from, you name a place in the UK, there's a good chance I've bought some stuff with it. We hit all the usual haunts. We have stuff from Sci-Fi using code Caketinz for 5% off your order, both new and used. We got stuff from World of Books, we got stuff from Blackwells, we got stuff from Forbidden Planet International, both Leeds in store and Brighton through mail order. We have stuff from Traveling Man, we have stuff from Amazon third-party sellers, second-hand. We hit Forbidden Planet in London as well and went wild in that sale section. So yeah, we have a load of different stuff to go through, a variety of new and used. Regardless, all still bought for a decent price or in a deal of some variety. I did have everything nicely organised, then just before I was about to take the picture for the thumbnail, cat ran into the table, knocked the piles of manga over, it made a mess, I got grumpy, so this is just, there is no organisation like I usually do, forgive me. We have a ton to get through, but just before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe and check out my channel membership for early access to my videos, and join the Dudet Discord server, link can be found down below, alongside all my other social medias. There seem to be so many nowadays. I am very, very poor at trying to keep up with all of them. Tend to go through phases. I have this close to hand, so let's do this first. First up, we have a pile of Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles. So we have from the main series 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe this is complete a 7, so I just need volume 2 to complete that. And 3 and 7 from Duelist. I did potentially foolishly decide to try and see if I could pick up the singles for this series. It is notoriously difficult because they have also printed a omnibus form, of which that has had, I believe, received some reprints. I've been seeing it pop up a bunch recently, so I do believe it's had reprints. These were all bought used, I believe, on World of Books, and I did spend only £4 on average using a code that I found. There is a mixed variety of damage. There's creases, library copies. This one is rather sun damaged. I'm not too fussed if I can still read it. I think I have about half the volumes now. I need one more, as you can see, for this one. I think most of the volumes are in Duelist. Duelist is the longest one with most of the story, I believe. And I've got half of those, maybe just under half. And then I have a couple from Millennium World as well. I'll see. I always enjoy trying to put them together. It's fun, like a little game. So I'm not too worried if I can't or it takes me a few years. Often it takes me a few years when I start to pick up series like this, and I enjoy it. It's fun. I start to get a bit unsure which of these were, say, Blackwells, or I got in sale sections, or I got secondhand. I think this was a secondhand find, and it is volume 1 of The Summer You Were There. This is a GL. It is a GL that Liddy is definitely not bullying me. Definitely not bullying me, forcing my hand, aggressively telling me I need to read this, and then keeps telling me about how sad it makes me. It's gonna cry. It's do you just want to make me cry, Liddy? Is this what you want? It was a bit of a ball ache to find volume 1. It's been out of stock all over the place, but I managed to find it. I do think it was secondhand. So I have 1 to 5, so I have no excuses to not read it now. And as soon as she sees this, she's going to not let me not read it until I do. Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent, volume 5 of the light novel. This is the wordy one. So this will be for Ben. He'll get it for Christmas now. Any light novels from now on get stored away. He can get them for Christmas. I do think he has a clear run, so he would be able to read this if he so chose. I don't think he started reading it yet, though. He is giving me a wish list of light novel series he wants, where he only has 1 volume to fill a gap, and then he could read loads. He's already given me 3 of them. This is one he said that he will read soonish, I hope. Oh, he's not just telling me that. Monster Volume 9. I believe this was on sale on Blackwells. Blackwells sometimes just has the randomest stuff on sale and new stuff as well. I don't know how new this is. I got very confused because it took 3 years for a volume to come out and I just completely fell behind. and I've just not gotten back into it. So I think there was a huge gap, and then a bunch have come out, and I've just not stayed up to date with that because I do now have a gap in this series. It kind of is a bit like that time I got reincarnated as a slime, but a bit more mature and weird. I do like it, but I don't think I'd recommend it. I'm in love with the Villainess Volume 6, Villainess, Isekai, and GL. I do enjoy it. It's pleasant. I don't think it's like, it's quite bland or plain or simple from what I've read so far. I've only read I think the first 2 or 3, and it's something I've been really like trying to look for more of in GL, like more stuff that makes me go, ooh, I can't believe that happened. Oh my gosh, my heart is racing. I don't really feel that with this one, but it is pleasant, and I do enjoy pleasant sometimes. I've been looking for GL that's not necessarily just pleasant, and we'll get to what I mean in a bit later in the haul. As Miss Beelzebub likes Volume 1, bought second hand, I'm fairly sure. I had managed to pick up the whole series apart from Volume 1, I think on like, I want to say in like Forbidden Planet Liverpool or something, and then a couple secondhand are in sale sections, but I do think I am now complete. I think this was the only volume I needed. I think it's 12 volumes and I'm now complete. So now I think we are hitting some manga that I ordered from Forbidden Planet Brighton, and we have got The Hidden Dungeon, Only I Can Enter Volume 9. This wasn't like an amazing, it was okay. It's got weird bits to it. It's not good. I don't recommend it. Leave me to read my bad stuff. Monster Guild Volume 4. I believe I've only picked this series up in sale sections, so that really doesn't speak much to the series. I've also not yet started reading it. Take that as you will. ReZero the Frozen Bond Volume 3 and the final volume in this series. This is a prequel series focused around Amelia. I have not yet read it because I knew it was only 3 volumes and I needed a volume. Curious to see how it will play out. I haven't read ReZero in ages, like years, because it took me ages to find a volume that I needed later on in part 3, and I've just not gone back to the series. So I do think I'm now up to date. No, I'm not up to date. I'm a few volumes behind being up to date. Maybe I'll get up to date and then read a bunch more, because I did really enjoy reading ReZero. I just fell away because I needed more volumes. 2 volumes of Arifureta 9 and Arifureta 06, an isekai that Ben really loves, but he loves the light novel. I don't think he's really read much of the manga. I've read some of the manga, I'm not particularly blown away, but Ben loves the light novel, so I will keep reading it to see if I do enjoy it more, or Ben can read the manga to see if he can see differences. It's always neat to see the differences between the manga and the light novels. We've got a slew of like some bad isekai. Slowly Life in Another World, I Wish, Volume 3. Did not enjoy this one. I've not read past Volume 1, so do I have Volume 2? I'm not sure I have Volume 2. Do not think this is very good. I do not recommend. Very high story lore stuff around slavery, and like it's weird. It's uncomfortable. I wouldn't recommend. Reborn as a Barrier Master, Volume 4. This is a very average mid isekai. Once again, I enjoy it because it's a isekai, but overall it is not very good. Very generic male, lots of women. It's not good. So no one, I feel like most people, yeah, don't recommend. But I like it, it's fine. Would You Like to Be a Family? I believe this is a one-shot because there's no numbers. I assume it's a BL one-shot from Tokyo Pop. It looks cute, and I've been enjoying more BL from Tokyo Pop recently, so I look forward to it. I didn't realise like how many one-shots there are from Tokyo Pop. There's just so many. To Save the World, Can You Wake Up the Morning After with a Demi-Human? Volume 6. Absolutely feel free to judge me, please. It's not good. Volumes 5 and 6 of Psychopaths. I think it's complete at 6. Maybe, I'm not sure now. Ben is a big fan of the series. Ben loves Psychopaths. He actually has bought one of the manga volumes for himself. So when I saw there were some more, I grabbed those for him. I do need to still get him like 2, 3, and 4 for him to be able to read these ones though. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 9. I actually really like this one. I find it remarkably wholesome considering the topic. I mean, there are still like problematic parts with it, but it is still remarkably wholesome to the point that I do feel quite moved often when I read this series. I am a few volumes behind and I have a few random gaps now. I do actually think there was another volume from this series in this haul, but we'll see if we get to it. I didn't realise how far behind I was because I want to say it's like volume 11 and I only had like 1 to 7 as a run, so I now have a few gaps. Ancient Mage's Bride, Wizards Blue 5? Yeah, 5. I'm not even up to date with the main series. I am very far behind on the come back here, on the sequel spin-off bonus series. Yeah. I grab them as and when, but yeah, just mostly when they're on sale, to be honest. Goblin Slayer Daikatana Volume 3, another one that I kind of just piece together as and when I see it. It's another series where Ben has been loving the light novel, but I don't think he's read or started Daikatana, but he's been reading the main series. That has been remarkably harder and trickier to find volumes of as I've gone on. I almost feel like I need to try and quickly get back up to date with that one because it's just really hard to find otherwise. Which is so annoying because Ben really loves it, and it took like a year to find volume 3 of the main series. Volume 3. I think we're on a new stack of stuff. So because stuff's got mixed up, we're going to jump around a bit. So I do think we have some that I picked up in Travelling Man. We have Undead Unluck Volume 16, staying up to date with the series. I can't decide now if, because I've fallen behind by about 3 or 4 volumes, if I should wait till it's finished, but I don't think it has quite finished, or no one's quite sure if it's on the way to the finish. Lots of people seem to speculate it was close to being finished, but then it didn't. I don't know. If it hits 20, I might then try and catch up again. But that's a lot more volumes. Dandadan Volume 8, I still have only read Volume 1 of this. It was a series where the hype got to me a little, but with the anime currently airing, I'm almost tempted, because at the moment, I feel a bit indifferent to it. I'm not like grumpy at it as I was like a bit ago, a few months ago. I'm tempted to try and binge the volumes I have before like the popularity of the anime once again shoves the series in my face and ruins it for me. Which I understand, you should not care what others think, but it's hard when it's just everywhere and anywhere you look. And it currently, after like episode 1 or 2, or I'm not sure how much is out currently at the time of recording, it is popping up everywhere, and I almost want to try and quickly swipe in and read it before I let it bother me too much, maybe? So I have 2 to 8 of this to read. I don't think I'm usually pretty quick with going through Shonen Jump. I could probably do it in a few days, to be fair. Jujutsu Kaisen 23. This has now finished. They have confirmed that this has finished. I'm not sure how many volumes it's going to be in English though once it has finished. But I think I will also wait and maybe binge. Now it's finished. I will. I promise. I swear. I quit my apprenticeship as a Royal Court Wizard to become a Magic Item Craftswoman Volume 1. This was, in my opinion, a pleasant, light-hearted fantasy with a female lead that wasn't too, it wasn't too heavy. I mean, it had some slightly heavier topics, but it was, kind of light-hearted and carefree, and I wouldn't say it's, amazingly remarkable or memorable, but it was pleasant to read, and I fairly enjoyed it still. And I would potentially recommend if that kind of, light-hearted female lead fantasy is your kind of thing. It is not an isekai, and I don't think so far it is a romance. I don't know what's going to happen between these two characters. I almost kind of wish it doesn't, because this is a demon who has known her since she was a child. So I'd kind of rather they didn't know. Now that she's grown up, turn it into a romance is my preference. I hope to keep a brother-father kind of role between them. Spy Family 12. I do like Spy Family. I hadn't realised that a lot of people online are starting to drift a bit with Spy Family and not enjoy it as much. I still enjoy it. I think it not coming out too often helps me enjoy it, because I believe, someone do correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is a monthly series, not a weekly series, which causes us to have a lot slower releases. And I find personally that helps me not get burnt out with this, because I'm only reading a volume every 6 months or so. Maybe a little more frequently, but it's not too bad. I do like it. I think it has definitely gotten a lot more lighthearted. It does feel like it's being dragged out a little, but I don't mind too much, to be honest. True Love Fades Away When the Contract Ends, Volume 2. This is another, was gonna say, is it fantasy? I'm not sure it's actually like got any like magic elements or anything like that. I cannot for the life of me remember. Basically, it's a fake marriage romance. These two people are being coerced or trying to push towards marriage, and they don't want to, so they pretend to be all up in each other to ward off friends, parents, and all that, except they do start to fall for each other very, very obviously, very quickly. It's pleasant, it's fine. I have no issues with the trope itself. I do think this one is a little slow and a little dull. It took me a long time to get through this volume. I don't know if it was because like I was tired while reading, or it was dull, but it took me like 3 days to read this, which, yeah. So this one I picked up in Forbidden Planet London, so I'm not sure if we've hit now a tranche of Forbidden Planet London or this just got mixed in, and we have, what is it called again? Attack of Vampires Love Bite Volume 1, which is a brand new Shoujo Beat release. It is about a vampire girl who is a shut-in and is quite obsessed with a character from this anime series, to the point that she moves to Japan to be closer to all the pop-up merch stores and stuff, and she kind of ends up making friends with this human guy who looks a lot like that character. It's lighthearted, it is cute, I like the vampire supernatural elements. I think it kind of gives it that kind of rum juice. Not what I just. I feel like it kind of gives it that like rum that some shoujo beat series can lack. It makes it stand out, in my opinion, to a lot of the other shoujo beat stuff that I've been reading recently. So I do very much look forward to the next volume. Shame how thin they seem to be getting these shoujo beat volumes though. Okay, that very much was like mixed in, because now we have some Blackwell stuff. We have My Girlfriend's Child volume 5. I have not stayed up to date with this. In fact, I think I only have volumes 1 and 2 on this. I picked this one up because it was on sale. It was like $5.99 or something, $4.99, $6.99. I don't know. It was a good, nice bit cheaper than 3 for 2, because 7 Seas volumes are like $12.99 nowadays, or even higher. I think I am. I don't know if I'm in the minority or not, but I am not a massive fan of this series, not because I don't think it's good, and I think it is very much sending an important message, and I think it is really, really good and wonderful that we do have stories like this out there. It just got me a bit down. The whole thing, it got me a bit down, and sometimes if my mental state is not in a good mood, I don't want to be reading series that get me down, because it just makes it 10 times worse. So I think it was a good read. But I wasn't happy by the end of it. And I know a lot of people enjoy that. A lot of people do enjoy reading something and for it to affect them emotionally. Personally, it depends how it affects me emotionally. I've done a lot of avoiding of stuff that gets me down and sad, and for one of the reasons I've not really read much further into this series. I would like to, I just feel like I need to be more confident in my mental state when I choose to. A White Rose in Bloom Volume 3 was on sale as well. I still need Volume 1, I've had Volume 2 for ages. My understanding is there has been years between the release of Volumes 2 and Volume 3. I believe it's a GL. That's the limit of my knowledge. I also don't have Volume 1, but a lot of people were very hyped when another volume came out, so I assume it's good. Okay, I think we've gone back to Traveling Man because they've got the stickers on. We have Chainsaw Man 16. It's got the 3 for 2 sticker. Again, at some point I will go through and binge this series. I do enjoy binging Shonen Jump series because I just find it a lot easier to follow what's happening, especially when it's a Shonen Jump with fight sequences. I can't be doing fight sequences every few months. I have no idea what's happening. So if there's any chance of fight sequences, I need to binge. And it's exactly the same with Sakamoto Days, Volume 13. I need to binge. I think I got to Volume 4 of this before falling behind. So I have quite a lot to binge. Okay, so we have a couple more. I got Traveling Man actually really recently. So I've been to Traveling Man a couple of times. We have volumes 5 and 6 of Insomniac's After School. I don't think this is a bad series. I just don't think I was personally that fussed about it. I think I kind of went in hoping there was going to be a load more about astronomy, because I believe they're in an astronomy club, and it seemed it was more relationship, not necessarily romance, but at least so far in what I've read, but more just about the characters themselves as opposed to the stars. I do hope that if I read more, that I will get more about stars and space and stuff. I think I went in expecting one thing and I didn't get what I expected, which isn't like a knock on the series in itself. It was just, I was wrong. Next series, which I'm like slightly excited about, slightly scared about, it is Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated, Volume 1. And this is a tie-in with Magic the Gathering. There is the logo at the top of the spine, and it says at the bottom there. And I was confused. I was like, it's plastic wrapped. And yeah, it's because at the back there is a little envelope, and inside the little envelope you actually do have a Magic the Gathering card. I do not play Magic the Gathering. I have no idea in the slightest if this is any good, but it is shiny. Isn't that nice and shiny? I also don't know if everyone gets the same card. I kind of assumed so. It would be weird, I feel, if you didn't, but I am happy to be proven wrong. I have a lot of friends that play Magic the Gathering, a lot, and always like to show me the cards and how scary money all the cards are worth. I have no concept of the game, and I am almost purposefully choosing to remain ignorant because I don't need to be dragged down into another expensive hobby. I have already given part of my soul to Hatsune Miku. I cannot afford to also get into Magic. And also the manga. There's the manga problem too, as you can see. I am very much looking forward to reading this as someone who knows very, very little about Magic the Gathering. I'm hoping it's going to be over the top and silly, and it better teach me how to play Magic, and then I'm going to go to my friends that play Magic and be like, I know how to play, and then tell them whatever strange rule set I have learned through reading this. I think this is going to be over the top, cringy, awkward, and weird, and I really can't wait in a really, really terrible way. But I think the fact that it came with a card is incredibly neat. I think that's pretty cool, especially since the volume was still in the $10.99 bracket. So that is the same bracket as Insomniacs After School. I got the 3 in a 3 for 2. So it was nice that you got the volume and a card, basically for free. Yuna, please. It's like she knows. She knows exactly where I'm recording and where the camera is facing. Oh no, she's just gonna sniff. Oh no, is she off? No, don't sniff that. That's got the camera on it. Don't show her the bum. Okay, so this next pile of pickups were picked up in the Traveling Man Autumn sale. They had a pile of manga and light novels for 50% off. So first up I picked up is I can't read it upside down. Hirano and Kaguya 1, 2, 4, which is a Sasaki and Miyano spin-off. I don't know how many, I can't remember how many volumes are out currently, but I got 1 to 4 in the sale. Studio Apartment, Good Lighting, Angel Included Volume 5, probably one of my favourite titles. I love the title of this series. The actual series is fine. It's a weird supernatural harem, but otherwise the title is really I really like the title. I think it's really cool, and also the covers are always really pretty. Got this half price. Tsubaki-cho Lonely Planet Volume 6. I have fallen behind on picking up volumes from this series, so it was really nice to see. I think actually the next volume I needed in the sale. Star Wars Lost Stars Volume 2. Massive Star Wars fan. Ben is a massive Star Wars fan. All of my family are massive Star Wars fans, so of course trying to pick up all the Star Wars manga. It is a little tricky. Some of it is very hard to find. But excited to find this one. I think it fills a gap because I want to say I have 1 and 3, so I think it's complete at 3 as well, so this might complete that. Next was a little bit of a naughty buy, but I saw it and I could not leave it, and that is I bought volume 1 of The Otherworld books, Pen on the Bean Counter, and I saw it and I was like, I can't leave you here. So what I'll do is I will give this away. I have a ton of giveaways planned, especially in December. If you need to join the Dudette Discord server, because there's gonna be an absolute ton of giveaways in December. I will probably throw it in that in some form or way. Beautiful series. I could gush about this for hours. I should just do a whole video where I'm just crying and sobbing and talking about my beautiful beanie boys and how amazing they are, and they deserve the world, and I just want to... Dear King Volume 2, and I think this is only a 2-volume series, so that is complete. Bought in sale. I realized I didn't really say like how much, so I think they were all half price, and a lot of the like yen press stuff was $10.99, and then it varies a bit depending on publisher and if it's a light novel or not, but I'll show you when we go to them. Sword Art Online Girls Ups Volume 3, been piecing together my Sword Art Online manga for years. We're making progress. We have some bigger volumes now, so this one was $12.99 and it is 15 minutes before we really date Volume 2. I actually got halfway through Volume 1 and then I put it away to film my manga collection tour last year and completely forgot. So I need to go back and read that and then finish this, because it was really cute what I'd read so far. I forgot. King in Limbo Volume 2. This is a chunky boy. I think I have Volume 1, maybe? I do have Volume 1. I'm not sure if it's complete or not. I don't think it's complete at 2, but I don't think there's many for it to be complete. Ninja vs. Gokudo Volume 1. I have never even heard of this series. I must be honest. Never heard of it. And I was like, excellent, let's grab it. Because I love grabbing reading series I have absolutely virtually no idea on. It's my favourite way to go into any series, to be honest. Next we have She's My Knight Volume 2. A rather cute romance, high school romance read where the guy is very, very smitten by this girl who kind of acts in a very knightly kind of way. And he gets very embarrassed and blushes a lot. It's pretty cute. It's pretty cute. Very not like heavy at all. There's not really much plot. It's cute and adorable. Essence of Being a Muse Volume 3. I think this series completes at 3 volumes and I've gotten both, I think 2 and 3 in sale sections and such. I've seen some mixed opinions on the series out and about in my social media travels. I'm interested in going through it myself. I do quite enjoy, even though like I was saying about how I try and avoid heavy reads and stuff, I do quite like reads where it goes through art, like heavier reads when it involves art and such, and they like kind of paint their feelings out. I find that really interesting as sort of a way of physically representing what they're thinking and feeling as a reader. I especially think it works well with manga, because obviously. So I still actually really looking forward to going through all 3 of these. Volumes 2 and 3 of Touge Oni. I have read Volume 1. It kind of reminded me a bit of like To Your Eternity meets Hell's Paradise in terms of like some of the imagery and kind of some of the imagery from Hell's Paradise, but like sort of semi feelings and emotions I felt while reading To Your Eternity. I love that we have really bright colours. Volume 1 was red. This makes me happy. Finally, from the Travelling Man Autumn Sale, we have some sale stuff that I picked up. Sale stuff? Ugh, light novels. Oh my goodness. I'm getting sleepy. We have got Villainess and the Villain Met and Fell in Love Volume 1. Jan Pressberry kindly sent me the manga Volume 1 of this earlier in the year and I rather enjoyed it. Obviously I saw this and I got it for Ben. I say I got it for Ben. I'm also slightly like, if I see Villainess light novel, we gotta collect it. We gotta collect the Villainess stuff. Gotta collect the Villainess stuff, Ben, sorry. Hollow Regalia Volume 2. Ben has 1 and 3, so seeing this was just quite nice to be able to fill a gap, and also nice colourful spines. Gun Gale Online Volume 9. I do actually wonder, I got like 1 to 11 of Gun Gale Online for Ben, apart from like 5, 9, and I think 1 other in the Travelling Warehouse sales. I wonder if like I just missed 9, because 9 was one of the ones I didn't manage to grab. So I wonder if like I'd missed them and they were lingering about, or someone else had grabbed them to fill their gaps. But I was really happy to find 9, and it's chunky. It's chunky. A lot of the light novels are about $11.99. Black Summoner Volume 1. I'd read a lot of good reviews for this series. I have picked up the manga and not yet read it, so I also grabbed the light novel for Ben so we can try and read it together. It is J Novel Club and its RRP was $12.99. Final light novel, and I think final volume in the Travelling Man Awesome section, is Cross-Dressing Villainess Cecilia Sylvie Volume 3. He has 1, 2, 4, and 5, so this fills a gap. Absolutely one of my favourite isekais at the moment. I cannot wait for the next manga volume to come out. I think it's Volume 6. I am tempted to maybe sideline onto the light novels, possibly. We do still have 2 full stacks to go through. Let's just keep going. I think this is another Blackwells pickup, and it is Cat on the Hero's Lap Volume 3. This is an adorable, cute, fantasy cat-themed series. Very much nothing series. Not much happens, except this cat loves to get on this guy's lap, and then he can't fight because you can't do anything. The cat's on your lap. You can't move. The cat is on your lap. That is the literal premise of it. It is, if you love cats, if you love fantasy and like lighthearted stuff, go for it. I adore it. but like I'm not really gonna run out there recommending and saying this is a masterpiece, but this is my kind of thing. This, I believe, was in Forbidden Planet International Leeds, and it is Kingdom of Quartz Volume 2. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I was kind of caught by surprise how much I enjoyed Volume 1. Would highly recommend. It has like some kind of Witcher Atelier vibes meets angels, but like biblical angels. It's also a little gory, it's a little dark. I still really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my highlight reads of the year so far. The Masterful Cat is Depressed Again, Volumes 3 and 4. I believe I got these on World of Books pre-owned, second hand. Just cute cat manga, bought for like half price, if not cheaper actually. I want to say that they might have been like £5 each, which is unfortunately really good for 7Cs, especially a bigger 7Cs. Next we have Shangri-La Frontier Volume 11, and I was really pleased to see this secondhand on World of Books. This is actually the next volume I need in the series. I have 1 to 10, 11 was the next one I needed. I have fallen a few volumes behind because big Caketinz are expensive, and I'd fallen behind on reading it, so I didn't want to rush, and like I was like, there's no point, I can wait. And apparently if I waited I could get some secondhand, which is absolutely beautiful. I really enjoy it. It's a fun video game isekai. And I really like video game isekai because all the stats and stuff is so much fun. Okay, I think we've got some stuff that I picked up when I went to Forbidden Planet London. I was in London for a Final Fantasy VII concert, and obviously we stopped by Forbidden Planet and got some bits. First off, we have My Sister Took My Fiancé and Now I'm Being Courted by a Beastly Prince, Volume 2. I have read Volume 1. It was another one I kind of put in the same line as True Love Contract Fades Away, mostly because I bought Volume 1s at the same time and read them back to back. I think this is another one that's like, it's fine, it's okay, it's not outstanding, but it's a fun read. Female lead, romance, fantasy. And nice and chunky. I do appreciate a chunky volume. Battle Royale Enforcers Volume 1, a new Viz release. I assume something to do with Battle Royale. I don't know if it's a prequel, retelling, sequel, what, but I am really, really, really wanting to read Battle Royale because we have some like imagery at work that's inspired by Battle Royale, so I would really love to try and read the series. I have been constantly on the lookout for a set of the singles. I don't want to pay crazy prices, and I'm happy to wait around to see if maybe a reprint happens or I just happen to come across a set of cheap ones. I think I am trying to stick to trying to get a set because some of the later ones are a lot harder to find, so I kind of don't want to end up with a load of the earlier ones and then not being able to find the later ones. Currently, that's my current feelings, but I'm not rushing. But I was quite intrigued to see this one. I don't know, like, yeah, I'll have to read it. Does it count if you lose your virginity to an android? Volume 4. I am actually missing, I think, a volume 1 of this before I can read it. I really, 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 really hope it's going to be a really wholesome GL, like Asumi-chan's lesbian brothels, and it's like, you look at it and you think, oh no, gross, disgusting, how dare you? And then you read it and it is like the most pure, wholesome, lovely, cute GL smut you've ever read. That is what I'm hoping to get from this. I just need to get a volume 1. This one I got in the sale section. Am I actually the strongest volume 2? And I paid a hefty price of 99p. I believe this is an isekai. I've not read my volume 1. I don't have high expectations for the series considering this is the kind of prices they're being dropped to. It is a little battered, but that might have been me. Next we have Record of Ragnarok Volume 11. I have actually fallen a couple of volumes behind on this, not because I don't want to read it, I'm just behind on a lot of stuff, to be honest. I love seeing the guys wail on each other. It's really fun. There's not an amazing amount of plot to it, it's just fun wailing. I'm gonna do both these together even though they're different series. We have Hatsukoi Note and After School Etude Volume 1. Both of them look like plastic wrapped 7C's BL series. I don't know anything about either of them though. I do think both the spines look really cute and pretty. I love the font on this one. I quite like the yellow. I do love getting a yellow spine. I look forward to unwrapping those. Then we have Titan's Bride Volume 4. It has been a hot minute since we had Titan's Bride Volume 3. I can't wait to read this. Ben can't wait to read this. This was unironically one of his favourite reads during Pride Month. I do not know why. We were going to sit down and do like a Pride read like wrap up and we just never got round to it. Maybe I'll do one with him at the end of the year of stuff that he's read, because he has read some manga this year and light novels and stuff. But yeah, he really enjoyed Titan Bride, so I need to sit down and ask him why. Next we got My Girlfriend's Not Here Today Volume 2, and this has become like one of my I love this series. It is wonderfully dramatic hot trash. There is no good people in this series, and I absolutely love it. This is like one of the things I feel like I was looking for and hoping for in terms of GL series. Like all this BL around, and there's a lot of like drama and like spice and oh my gosh, I can't believe she just said that, he just said that, whatever. And like I feel like GL was kind of missing that. I feel like a lot of the GL in English print is quite pleasant, and that's, I don't mean that in a bad way, I mean that in a, there's not a huge amount of variety, and I feel like series like this and She Loves to Cook, and I am absolutely up for admitting that this is just me not exploring enough, but in terms of English physical print, because that's all I read, this has opened my eyes to something beautiful. And I know this series, like the guy she likes isn't really a guy at all. That's not quite out yet at the time of recording, but that's absolutely another one I'm going to be picking up. Maybe The Summer We Were There is going to make me feel different as well. And it's a shame basically that there isn't as much a variety of GL in English physical print. And I don't know if that's a reflection on English publishers or just the genre at all. I have no idea. I'm happy to be educated. I just wish there was more of it, because finally, this is what I want. Thank you, Liddy. Right, next we are back to some Travelling Man pickups. And I'm a little surprised looking at the back of this one, actually. So next we have Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 5, which I'm not sure if I've clarified or not, but Travelling Man do now do 3 for 2 in store on 7 Seas volumes. So they do 3 for 2 on Viz Media and 7 Seas. But I was a little surprised looking at the back that this is marked at $12.99, because I know if you were to go to like Forbidden Planet, it would be $14.99, which is incredibly upsetting. But yes, that surprised me. I don't think I realised. I thought it was $13.99. Hey ho. I haven't read Dinosaur Sanctuary yet. I love the series. It's just so chill. And I love dinosaurs. Who doesn't love dinosaurs? And nice, beautiful, bright colours. It's a beautiful series inside and out. Obviously, very much recommend. Otonari Complex Volume 1. This, I think, is a series that slightly caught me by surprise how much I enjoyed it. So it is a romance. The characters are in like college, I guess I want to say. I think they're in like higher education, maybe. Let me check. I'm not sure. I don't think they're like in the workforce. I think they're still in education. But basically the plot, and this is kind of a spoiler, but it's like the first thing they tell you in chapter 1. And it's all about kind of going against traditional gender roles, in that this is the guy and this is the girl, and they're not like, they're just quite happy dressing and acting the way that they do. The guy dresses quite feminine, wears wigs, dresses, makeup, and the girl is kind of just happy being a bit more, I was gonna say ambidextrous, not ambidextrous. Ambiguous, not ambiguous. What's the word? I cannot think what word I'm trying to say. A bit more just sort of plain clothing, not particularly feminine, not overly masculine, just simple, because they're quite like, I just want to keep it simple basically. And they're childhood friends, and they're kind of sort of navigating the whole, they kind of have feelings for each other but don't really understand it or know what they're feeling, and it's really, really cute. And yeah, I was quite surprised by how much I enjoyed it, because I get a bit like romance, especially I feel like adult ones, I feel end up going to one of two ways. I either like really enjoy it or I get a bit bored by it, and I don't think I got bored by this, which is really nice, even considering it's quite a chunky one in comparison to some other series. Hatsune Miku Cantarella Poison of Blue, and this is a one-shot. I feel I could do a whole video just talking about this one volume. So this is not a very big volume. It was also $13.99. So, to clarify, I have recently fallen down the Hatsune Miku pit hole problem. Help, please. But I have not yet sampled any of her songs. Yes, I know that is an even worse problem, I understand. I have just been enjoying the figures. They're really cute, okay? I do have a playlist. I have been recommended a bunch, and there are lots of people who sent me links in the Discord server. So I'm going to. I have not yet. And when I read this, which was like a month or so ago, I had not either. So this is a one-shot volume based on a Hatsune Miku song. I believe it's also called Cantarella, so it is of the same name, and it is kind of loosely following the Borgia. Please forgive me for my pronunciation, which was a very real Italian household during the 15th century, it says on the back. And it follows these siblings, the girl being played by Hatsune Miku and the guy being played by, I should have just told it like this, the guy being played by Kaito, which I believe is another Vocaloid, which I found very strange that like it was characters. So these are the characters are based on real people who are then being played by Vocaloids. Now there's kind of a whole thing about in this family, it is known for its Cantarella poison, a very special poison that is, I don't know, it's the family poison that seems to get passed down through the family generations or whatever. This kid, the boy, is very, very into poisons and is very looking forward to being able to handle this family heirloom poison thing. For reasons, when, I can't remember the actual names, when Hatsune Miku was born, the mother, like, basically took the baby away and raised her somewhere else, being like, there are reasons I don't want to raise her with the rest of the family, I'm taking her away. And the story kind of starts with them coming back when Hatsune Miku has like hit 10, I want to say. Her and the brother really hit it off. They really hit it off. Yeah. It gets so weird. It was not at all what I was expecting. It's not explicit. It is not explicit in the slightest. And to be honest, apart from like 1 or 2 lines which do outright go, it's a bit creepy, don't you think, your relationship with your brother? They don't actually outright say anything too explicitly. It is very weird. I did not expect that aspect of the. I was very caught unawares. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna read a Hatsune Miku manga. I'm so excited. What do you mean? What do you mean that you're gonna love your brother in a way that you shouldn't love your brother? Would I recommend it? I feel like that falls down entirely to whatever you are comfortable with reading. It was, it's like you're not allowed to look at it anymore. It was very odd, bizarre. I was very confused. And then I went and read the lyrics to the song, and I don't think it helped me. I'm just a bundle of confusion. Are all Hatsune Miku songs like this? What fandom have I fallen down? I might do a follow-up video where I go through it in a bit more detail, because I just have a lot to say, I feel, and I don't want to go on too long when I've still got another full stack and a bit of volumes to go through. Also, I'm happy to talk in the Discord server or anything. I also did a post. Weird. When the Villainess Seduces the Main Heroine, Volume 1, very kindly gifted to me by Yen Press. This is a plastic wrap volume, though I will clarify, you don't outright see anything of a sexual nature. It does get talked about a lot. They are very, like, chatty about their sexual exploits as opposed to showing them. The general premise is, as often happens in a villainess, the villainess was engaged to the prince, and the prince has found a heroine, is like, now I'm going to marry her instead. Except what happens, and this happens like page 1 or page 2, is the villainess is like to the heroine, I could, keep you better company at night. And the heroine's like, yeah, sure, okay. And the two of them, off they go to go and live a life together, and it is the heroine with the villainess. I quite liked it. If only because, once again, I was sort of talking about the whole I want to read different types of GL. I do feel like this is a very different type of GL. There are some very odd, explicit parts that I'm like, I feel like you could have been fine just not including that. I don't feel like this part was necessary to further the story. It just makes it a bit weird in my opinion. But the whole parts between the two of these characters together, I quite enjoy. I quite like it. I think it's cute and adorable and funny when it's like rather smutty, but when they are quite explicit when they talk to each other, so do be like aware of that. Another Blackwells sale, I want to say, is Gravitation Volume 2. I have been eyeing this series up. I believe it is like a reprint collector's combination, accumulation. No, what word? It was a bound collector's version brought together from a series that has been, I think, quite popular, and they're redoing it. So I just need to get volume 1 and then catch up. I had already been looking at picking this one up, so when someone posted that it was on sale in the Discord server, I was like, yeah, I'll just jump on that. I believe this was Forbidden Planet Leeds, and it is My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex, Volume 1. I don't know anything about it. It sounds nice romance trash, and sometimes I'm just in the mood for that. Published by Udon Entertainment, which kind of surprised me because, I mean, they just don't generally publish a huge amount of stuff, but I do often quite enjoy the quality of their volumes, so I'm looking forward to it. I believe this was also Forbidden Planet Leeds, and it is Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, Volume 7? Yeah, 1-7. I very enjoy this, good, like, enjoy, excite, wonderful, beautiful, happy, can't wait. I do enjoy this. I would call it like, I saw someone refer to it as like a half sibling to Apothecary Diaries, and I would absolutely agree with that, but a bit more like doctory, medically, as opposed to mystery. I actually almost think I might prefer this one, but I feel like I'd get into trouble if I said that. Okay, we have a couple pickups back to Forbidden Planet London. We have I'm the Grim Reaper Volume 1, and I was kind of surprised that this is a manhwa. Please, someone do tell me if I am wrong. I'm not sure if Viz have done a manhwa yet. Is this their first one? I'm not sure. I mean, I was going to say first one in colour, but there is stuff like Romantic Killer, but that wasn't manhwa, I don't believe. I think that was it? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I was intrigued. I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed a lot of manhwa this year. Nina and the Starry Bride Volume 4 bought in the sale section of London for $5.99. Very happy because this, I actually had a gap. I'd forgotten to buy Volume 4. I was intending on picking up on my next order, and then I saw it in the sale section. I was like, excellent. Did they hear me? So very pleased. Oh, we got some heavy ones. Oh gosh, we have some heavy ones next. This is a sci-fi order I made. There is some used and some new. We have Volume 1 of The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. It does have a crease on the front there, as you can see, but I paid £2.60 for the volume, so I'm not that fussed, to be honest. I've seen a lot of hype for this. Lots of people have been enjoying it. I believe it has an anime maybe coming. If not, if it's not already out. I'm not always the most up to date with anime. I saw some interesting confusion about what demographic it is. It is a shonen. I nearly said shoujo. It's not a shoujo. It's a shonen, but a lot of people have been calling it a shoujo. And what I find interesting is I think a lot of people have been calling it a shoujo because Kodansha have been calling it a shoujo, which Kodansha have done a few times now, because there was another series where I was looking on the back and it says it's a josei, but actually it was a seinen. What I find most interesting is Kodansha is like, it is actually quite an involved Japanese publisher as well, isn't it? So I find it interesting that they are the ones that seem to be printing and publishing incorrect demographics. I almost, personal opinion based on no facts or anything, I do feel sometimes like we care more about the demographics over in the West than they do in Japan. So I wonder almost if they're not that fussy and that's why they're doing it. Not to say it's right or wrong. That's my uninformed, uneducated, random guess opinion. We have some more used volumes bought for £2.60. We have Tower of God Volume 4, and you know what? I am so glad I bought this for £2.60 because oh my gosh, I could not believe how thin it was when it arrived. I was not expecting this. This caught me by surprise. Volumes 1 and 2, I want to say, of Tower of God, and they are like 3 times thicker than this. I can't believe it. I don't know what its RRP is. If it's the same as the rest, that's crazy. This also has a crease in it, but I don't mind because it was £2.60. I don't know, why is it so thin? Did it catch up? Why didn't they wait? No, it says the story continues in Volume 5. That's so strange. I wonder why. That just feels a bit weird to me. Maybe. I wonder if there's a reason. If you happen to know, please let me know. I'm very curious. The next volume I picked up for a whole £2.60 is Volume 5 of Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko, which I believe is the final volume of this series. I could not believe I managed to get it for that, price. I think this one is like the best quality in terms of like creases of the lot. Very, very happy. I do only have volume 1 and 5 of this though. I have some friends IRL who read and love this series, so I am very, very looking forward and excited to get into it. I just need to now get the middle ones. Okay, then we have some manhwa new releases that I picked up. We have Dark Moon volume 4, which is like a hot guilty pleasure manhwa. It is vampires and werewolves and romance and over the top, and I absolutely love it. I can't wait to read this. Remarried Empress volume 8, and I think that is an absolute stunning cover. I think that is not even my favorite Remarried Empress covers. I think it's one of my favorite manhwa covers, or maybe even just covers in my collection, to be honest. This is an absolute cover that needs to face outwards. I read volume 8 yesterday and I really loved it. I love Remarried Empress. I love the political intrigue and weddings and all that, and I can't wait for volume 9, which comes out in January, because I went and checked the moment I finished this. First Night with the Duke volume 5. This has been a tricky series to pick up. It is published by Net Comics, which I feel is like a slightly unusual publisher. I did manage to pick up volume 4. I want to say it's from Blackwells that I got volume 4, and I have actually just started reading it. I'm like, that is my current read right now, so I'll be reading this right after that. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait. Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint volume 4. Behind on this, but one of my goals is to try and read as much manhwa this year as I can. So I'm probably going to try and read more of this during December, go through a bunch of catch up my Ice Press. Jungle Juice volume 5, what a neat cover! And I am once again loving the like colourful spines we have on this series. A series that caught me unawares. I have definitely enjoyed it way more than I expected to, considering it's all about bugs. Not So Wicked Stepmom volume 5, really adorable, really like more family love than I was expecting, but still lovely. I believe this was also an isekai. Yes, isekai. We are on the final stack. Let's see how quick we can go through these. We have volume 7 of I'm Giving the Disgraced Noble Lady a Crash Course in Naughtiness. Is there a subtitle? Oh yeah, I remembered the main title but not the subtitle. I'll spoil her with delicacies and style to make her the happiest woman in the world. Volume 7. Absolute beautiful read. Definite title that lulls you into a false sense of this is dirty and naughty. It is not, it is the absolute opposite. Highly, highly recommend. Sasaki and Miyano volume 9. I am now up to date with this. I did intend to try and read like a volume a day at the start of August, and I completely fell off that because I barely read at all and then got distracted and read other things. I do still want to try and read these before the end of the year, but I'm probably not going to be doing like a volume a day to try and catch up now. Though I think I'm past the 9th, so I'll have to do like all of them in one day to catch up. Akane ga Kill volume 15, which I believe is the final volume, and it is chunky. This was also bought secondhand on Sci-Fi. It was not £2.60, but it was like £4 something, which is still pretty good. Mashal volume 17, bought in Forbidden Planet London. I believe 18 is the final volume. I am about 3 volumes behind now, but it's definitely going to be one. I'm going to wait for 18 and then read them together. I'm kind of sad and happy it's ended. I think it got a bit weird. The start of the series was amazing, and then it lost its way a little. And I think that's one of the reasons I stopped like reading up to date with it. But also it's a lot of battles, and it's really much more fun to read the battles in one big go. Marriage Toxin volume 4. I did think like, oh where's volume 3? I have actually ordered volume 3. It is, I think, in a box behind me waiting to be unboxed. But I did almost make myself a gap, and I was a bit worried about that. But I do not have a gap now. Next we got a volume I got in the sale section, and it's Apparently Disillusioned Adventurers Will Save the World volume 5, and I got it for $4.99. It's very thin, and I don't believe it's like amazing. So yeah, it's a definite sale section series for me. Rainbow Days volume 12, staying up to date. I can't remember how many volumes it is till it's complete. It is somewhere in the teens, so we can't be that far off. I like that we've cycled through the rainbow, so we're just going through it again. We've done the rainbow, let's just start from red again. Now we're on blue for the second time. Next we have Sandland, which is a one-shot by Akira Toriyama, and they reprinted it, which is amazing. I was so happy to see that they reprinted it, and I can just dive into this without needing to read the entirety of Dragon Ball, unless it ties into Dragon Ball. I hope it doesn't. It's kind of giving me some vibes of like Blue Dragon characters and stuff, which Blue Dragon is a video game where all the characters and monsters and enemies and everything were also designed by Akira Toriyama, but maybe that's just because I've not read enough Dragon Ball to feel the same thing when reading that. Persona 5 volume 12. It's kind of weird reading manga based on a video game that you have played, especially when they're like showing like some of the dungeony parts, the palaces, or like when I'm reading Zelda, the dungeon and that as well. Reading those in manga form is always a bit weird because obviously they want to try and get you through quickly or make it like flow like a story. On the back it makes reference to I think the 5th palace if I remember correctly. I'm interested. It's just weird and interesting and fun and neat. Next we have My Hero Academia volume 39, and I did recently binge a few volumes of My Hero Academia, and I have decided to now hold off till the series completes in English before I read anymore, because I really enjoyed reading my volumes together, and considering I think there's only 4 or 3 more after this one left for English print, I'm gonna wait for that and read those together and enjoy it that way. Acid Town Volume 3, bought in the sale section for $4.99. I think this entire series I've bought in sale sections, and a decent chunk of it has been London Forbidden Planet sale sections. I know it's a BL, and that's the limit of my knowledge. Moriarty 17, a bit saddened that I've managed to fall so far behind this considering how much I'd been enjoying it, but I will eventually catch up and I will get there. Sakura Saku Volume 4. I am a bit unsure on this series if I want to wait to collect it all and then read it. I do think I benefited a lot reading, I think, Strobe Edge, which is by the same mangaka. I read all of that in like 2 days, and I think it helped me enjoy the story a lot more than reading it as it came out. So I'm slightly tempted to do that with this. I can't remember if this is complete or not though, so I don't know if I'm just going to be waiting for ages. Very pretty covers. I love the covers. Trinity 729, bought in the sale section for $4.99. I bought loads of this series up from Waterbook second hand for like £5 and less. And it's still ongoing, apparently. I still have quite a few gaps. I have some real random gaps, especially earlier on. But this was sale section for $4.99 and it's plastic wrap still. It's still new. Frieren Volume 11. I have been really enjoying Frieren. I'm so glad that I kept going after the start where I was not too bothered. I think it's a wonderful series and it's definitely one of my favourite ongoing ones currently. And right now at this very moment as I'm recording, Ben is upstairs watching the anime. He's almost at the end of, I think, what's out. He's been really enjoying it as well. And I don't know if he's now tempted to read the manga to be able to continue. Yeah. Absolutely love Frieren. Great series. 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 11. As I said, there was another one. This one I believe was on sale on Blackwells and someone shared a link in the Discord server. But now I have gaps. But I can't believe there's like the guys on the cover. I can't believe they put the guy on the cover. How to Repair a Broken Cup, bought in Forbidden Planet London. Yeah, the sticker. I want to say this is a one-shot BL, but I'm not too sure. I saw some mixed opinions on it recently, which concerns me. I'll see when I read it what I think. Monsters in Love Volume 2, bought in Forbidden Planet International Leeds. I really loved Volume 1. I thought it was just really adorable, cute and sweet and lovely and just made me smile while reading it. And any series that just makes me smile when I'm reading it is just an instant favourite. I can't wait to read this one. I do believe it's not a very long series. I might even only be 3 volumes, maybe 4. Can't remember. But yeah, very happy, would recommend. Magical Buffs, the support caster is stronger than he realized, Volume 1. To be honest, this just kind of looked a bit like one of my trash fantasy series. Not like overly remarkable. It looks average, but my kind of thing. Kaiji number 8, Volume 11. Another one I'm behind on by like 3 volumes. I've heard a number of people say that this is also seemingly approaching an end as well, and I'm like, really? They all seem to be approaching the end. No! We've got a couple of light novels. We have Kuma 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 Bear, Volume 18, bought in the sale section of Forbidden Planet London for $6.99. We named our cat after the main character, so obviously need to keep trying to get all of the stuff for the series. Ben has read some of the light novels, but he needs like Volume 9 to be able to continue. But he really likes it. But I must say, it is like, there's not much text on each page because there's big old margins and it's not a very big book anyway. Reincarnated as a Sword Volume 12 for 99p, which doesn't bode well, does it? But I thought it was actually a pretty decent manga. It's a bit it can be a bit gory, aggressive. Can be a bit weird maybe with the cat girl, but I actually thought it was pretty decent. I hope the light novel's okay though. But he has only like 3 volumes of the light novel, so you can't read it anytime soon. Reborn as a Space Mercenary of Manga, Volume 6 for £4.99 in the sale section of London Forbidden Planet. One of Ben's like favourite light novel series, so I am trying to stay up to date with the manga to be able to read it alongside him, but I have gaps now. And it keeps popping up in the sale section, so I might as well just wait to find it in sale sections at this point. Another sale section for £4.99, Banished. From the Hero's Party, I Decided to Live a Quiet Life in the Countryside, Volume 6. I think I have like 1, 2, and 6 now. Gosh, I just looked. Apparently I have 1 to 4 and 6. When did I end up with the rest of those? Blade of the Moon Princess, Volume 5, the final volume in this series. I did not enjoy Volume 1 very much. It's the same manga as Spy Family, and I've not really heard amazing things about any of the other series that he has done, apart from Spy Family. Which, yeah. There is that 2-volume one, Tista, that I still need to read. DB Taku was like, I don't think I've ever heard him say such hate for a series before. And I wasn't particularly blown away with Volume 1 of this. It's short, but it is dense. It felt like it took me 3 years to get through Volume 1. I was just not a massive fan. Maybe it'll end well. Tamon's B-Side, Volume 5, a lighthearted romance idol thing. It's I feel almost like it's a secret pleasure of mine. Secret guilty pleasure, sorry. Not just secret pleasure, it's secret guilty pleasure. I don't really get the whole idol thing, but it's fun reading silly romances about it. We are on the very last small bit of stack, and we actually have a few volumes of series that I've already talked about, so we'll jump through those. We have volumes 7 and 8 of Sasaki and Miyano, so yep, that was, I think, in Forbidden Planet Leeds to pick these ones up. Rainbow Days Volume 11. You and I Are Polar Opposites Volume 2, which I haven't started reading yet, but I've seen a lot of positive things for. Just realised this isn't one I've already showed you a volume from. I've gone confused myself. ReZero Frozen Bond Volume 1, so I have 1 and 3 in this haul, so I only had Volume 2. For some reason I thought I already had Volume 1. It might have just been sat in this like whole stack for that long. A Cat from Our World and The Forgotten Witch Volume 3, a quite pleasant, well also sad series about a witch and her cat. The cat is ginormous though. That is so cute. Imagine having a ginormous cat like that. You could just like fall in. Imagine if Yuna was that size and she was just a cuddly blob mess. Oh, it would be so cute, massive bed. Okay, this next one has quite the title, bear with me. I abandoned my engagement because my sister is a tragic heroine, but somehow I became entangled with a righteous prince. This is another one where the sister is like painted to be able to do no wrong, and everything bad is blamed on the main character. She's painted to be a villainess, even though she isn't really a villainess. The sister is like the bad one, and I kind of love that. I kind of love that dynamic. She kind of ends up running away from home, runs into a prince, and the prince kind of like takes her in some kind of way. I really quite liked it. Again, I wouldn't say it's like outstanding, amazing, but if you like that kind of trope and such, you'll probably enjoy this. Our final volume in the haul. Oh my gosh, I've been going for like 2 and a bit hours now. Our final volume in the haul is a Forbidden Planet London pickup, and it is Trillion Games, Volume 1. I have read it. I actually rather enjoyed it. It is about a guy who teams up with he makes friend. They team up with the goal of making $1 trillion, basically. It's weird. It's like a business sales manga, but it's kind of neat and interesting. Obviously, it's not, I don't think it's probably going to be much like impact in like teaching you sales. It's like dramatic, almost like dramatic shonen battle sales in a way. I don't know if it's shonen or a seinen. Maybe it's a seinen, don't know. But if I was to think like dramatic battle sales business manga, I'd probably think something like this. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, but I did, and I am looking forward to Volume 2. And with that, we have somehow finally made our way to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me the whole way through. I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out my channel memberships for early access if you want to get my videos more promptly. And check out the Doodad Discord, link can be found down below, as well as all of my other social media links. Otherwise, I hope you have the most wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!